You know, open up.
Razor's going to say a few words and then
we'll
jump into it.
That's right. Good afternoon, everyone. Great to have you here. I just want to open up how pleased it is to play in a full house at Eden Park, you know, to sell out 6 test matches this year. Just so great to have the New Zealand public behind us, and we're looking forward to their support on the weekend. Scott Barrett's shoulder, he hurt it last week and played and finished the game with a shoulder injury, and you know, he's so mentally and physically tough for him not to play this, and it's pretty hard not to see his name up there, but he's just not quite right for this weekend and pushing to get back for next weekend's test. And you know, obviously we've had 5 changes for the test. We believe a lot of the combinations and the cohesion of the group that won a few weeks away ago here it's really important for us to keep that connection. You know, they won a title fight together, and it's their opportunity to go and do it again this weekend for the Bledisloe.
Did Scott train this week at all on Tuesday?
Yeah, he did. Measured, very strapped up and measured. You know, he tried to do everything he could to be available, but it's not 100%.
So shoulder?
Correct, yeah, he did his shoulder. He landed on it running down the sideline in the game, and he played through with it and thought it might have been right to get for this weekend, but it's clearly not. Yeah.
So how much changes with Artie coming in as captain?
Yeah, great to have Artie as captain. Or he just, you know, it's not straight in, 100 games and captain before, so they've worked together closely.
Scott, you've got four new faces from the 15 that ran out in Wellington.
Correct.
2 or 3 of those are kind of people coming back.
Correct.
Would we expect you to? What's your message to the public who, after the biggest defeat in All Blacks history, might have expected more change?
As I mentioned and opened up, that, you know, the small margins in games, you know, like we chased a game that got away from us, but the majority we played some really good footy, and a lot of the core group of those guys get to play again. You know, you learn on stage, and they've been under the spotlight, and it's another chance for them. And also, it's great to have a couple of halfbacks back, and your starting hooker, 100 test hooker, and good to have Caleb back on the wing. You know, he's obviously really important for the aerial game. So you bring those 4 back, and then you keep the cohesion of the rest of the group, and that's when you start to cement a little bit of form together, combinations.
Is that group that you've, you know, re-empowered to kind of, I guess, own the fall off at the end of that test and respond to it? Is there very much a challenge in their court about how they respond and how they front to, I guess, the faith you've shown in them?
Yeah, I think, Mike, the review process is just as much as understanding the game situation and the execution of it and how you deal with it on the field, what's those messages, and then actually going and doing it. You know, obviously really we're in that second half. How we could have probably changed ourselves and executed, put pressure back on them, dealt with the ref, the way he interpreted the game, and like I'm just pleased, you know, someone like a Pea Tupelosi can come off the bench now, and our props are another game better for playing. They'll be better around that area, just a bit more scrum and match fit too, so there's some exciting options ahead.
Given the result in Wellington, how easy is it to overcoach in this sort of situation?
Our meetings have been pretty short after a long review, so we're pretty clear in what areas. We know how Aussie are going to play, and the exciting part is get back onto the field and go and do it. You know, that's the part. Once you've been hurt and stung like we were, you know, the best things to do is play, and it's come around quick enough.
Full and frank review, open review.
Yeah, very. A lot of people ownership and what could we have done better, and there's a few hands that go up and find solutions. You know, that's the most key thing, because you're going to play again. So, what's the solution? How can we be better and own it and go and do it?
Another test match without Rieko Ioane in the 23. What does Rieko Ioane need to do to get back into this team?
Play well when he gets an opportunity. When he plays well when he gets playing rugby. You know, of the individual skill set stuff we keep in house, but he's played 80 odd tests. He's not far away.
What difference does having Caleb back in the back three make to the way you want to play?
Oh, look, he's got a great skill set, isn't he? Early and left foot kick, good power winger. So the great thing about Leroy, he can play his versatility. He can play both wings. He can play in the midfield and cover halfback if we need as well. So it's great he can slot to the right wing.
Have you asked any of the Crusaders players or rung Rob Kenny this week for some insights on James O'Connor? Who sounds like he might start.
Have you got their team? Have you?
I've seen you.
Yeah. Have you? Look, James. Look, he's Mercury. He's got he just keeps giving, doesn't he? He just the maturity in his age group and his way, his calmness in Test footy. So look, we know his strengths and also the opportunities that we can find.
Coach, having Cam and Cortez back, does that change your game plan much at all from the one that you played against Springboks?
Jamie, not really. Like we still keep a similar structure, but their individual skill sets. Obviously, Cam's a great running nine and backs himself a lot. So if he sees it, he'll go and play it. And obviously Cortez, he's a couple of years into his All Black career, and he's great off the bench. So he'll be able to pick that tempo up.
And having Patrick, you mentioned having Patrick
Yeah.
back. How much emphasis is going to be on the impact of the bench this weekend?
Yeah, well, look, obviously with Peter Larkai coming in, it's great for him to get another test. His versatility and power is one of the reasons we picked him. And we've got a group of guys, he's the only one that's under 10 caps. We've actually got a bench that's got some experience. And, Patrick's a chief in our group, and he's some impact player.
Scott, what's your relationship with Joe Schmidt like?
In regards to?
I mean, will you be having beers after the game? Do you have quite a good relationship?
I'm not sure we have a beer after the first game. Maybe the second game. Look, he's highly respected. What he's done as a player and a man in world rugby. So, we look forward to the contest on Saturday night.
Scott, it's been suggested there might be bad blood between you based off some quotes that Joe gave for Ian Foster's book. They seem to be critical of you and your role and the pressure that was put on pre-2023. Is there any bad blood between you?
Look, I haven't read the book, sorry. I'm not sure of the context. I stay away from reading the media as well. So, look, no, Joe's Joe. He's been around, he's a good rugby man. Yeah.
What have you made of the Wallabies this year under Joe, the progression they've made? Are they a
Yeah.
new threat this year as opposed to last year?
Or they're always a threat. Games got down pretty close last year. They stayed in the fight, especially that first test. So, and Beslow's, historically through all of them, they come out throwing it, and they'll back themselves. That's the biggest thing, and they stay deep into the game. And that's what we expect on Saturday night, playing good footy.
Back to the captaincy, does Artie as captain,
Yeah.
does Artie have more input this week or same as always?
He's a quiet leader, Sabs. I wouldn't say reluctant. Like sometimes he just feels it really when to say something. When he says something, people listen. He's got a great manner and obviously a great orator, and more importantly, he plays like a captain, and then people follow him. Yeah.
Scott said you know how Australia are going to play.
Yeah.
Do you expect that they'll take anything from the way South Africa played against you, such as the kicking game, for example?
Yeah, look, they're good at contestables and the back end of the game. We'll miss a couple of aerial battles, a couple of passes, and a bounce to their way. Things change, so they would have seen it, and you put the work in during the week to make sure that the guys got the numbers under the high ball and the confidence in the reps, and then go and do it.
Scott, if someone had told you as a player in 2002 that the All Blacks were going to win as a cup for the next 22 years, would you have believed them?
Yeah, I'd like to have believed it, yeah, and make it 23. Yeah.
We're getting to a point now, where there's a lot of players, a lot of people, a lot of fans will be in the stands who won't have memories of back when
Yeah.
the Wallabies actually used to beat you guys quite regularly. I guess you would have those memories. Do you bring those when you come into the reserve?
Yeah, do you reflect on history? That's what shapes you now, and the stories and what you've learnt from the past. And most important thing that we've heard, and past All Blacks have talked to us around, is it's this year. That's the most important one. In this game, what's been happened before is, as I mentioned, every big test match, every Bearslow said, its own little narrative, and they've all added up. So what's our part in how we play in the story?
So was Leicester in the picture this week for
Yeah, he was. Yep, for sure.
Will we potentially see him before the end of the rugby championship?
Yeah, look, there's another test match to be played, so yeah, he's always considered. Like I said, the combination of the cohesion was the biggest thing for us this week, and he's better for having another week with us.
How important is the Auckland record, Eden Park, and what is it about Eden Park that makes it such a hard ground to win for opposition?
I think what I just mentioned before, the ability to each week to understand how every competition's earned. When someone wants to take something away from you that you care and protect and proud of, you've got to make sure you respect it with your preparation, and that's the cumulative effect and how come we've got the record we've had, and same goes again this week. Thank you. Cheers, everyone. Thanks a lot.